everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we will be looking into the Covina Massacre. And if you haven't heard of this massacre, so the Covina Massacre occurred on Christmas Eve of 2008 in Covina City, which is the suburbs of LA. So 9 people were killed either by gunshot or in an arson where the Christmas Eve party was being held. So let's go back to the attack. So at approximately 11:30 p.m. PST time, Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, who is the person who did this massacre, dressed up in a Santa Claus suit, knocked on the door of his former in-laws. So let's go back. This is gonna be a little bit confusing. So Bruce Jeffrey Pardo and his ex-wife has just finalized their divorce, and so the divorce was finalized like a week before, and so he on that day of Christmas Eve he knocked on the door of his former in-law's house, occupied with about 25 people, with a deep wrap package containing a rolling air compressor converted to deliver gasoline from it, and at least 4 milliliters 9 mm semi-automatic handguns. And moments after opening the door, Pardo pulled out the handguns and immediately shot his 8-year-old niece, Katrina User Poloski, the daughter of Leticia, who is the sister of his ex-wife, Sylvia Pardo, as she ran to greet him, injuring her in the face. He then fired indiscriminately at fleeing partygoers. Police speculated that Pardo may have stood over and pointedly executed some other victims using the other handguns. After shooting, Pardo unwrapped the package containing the compressor and used it to spray gasoline to set the home ablaze. So 9 people died from either gunfire or flames, and 3 others were wounded. User Poloski was shot in the face with severe but non-life-threatening injuries. A 16-year-old girl has been shot and wounded in the back, and a 20-year-old woman who suffered a broken ankle jumping out of the second-floor window. There is one other survivor who called the authorities during the attack after escaping to a neighbor's house. The resulting fire soared approximately about 40 to 50 feet and took 80 firefighters an hour and a half to extinguish due to the intensity of the fire. Identification of the victims were done with either dental or medical records. So after the attack, Pardo put on his street clothes and drove his Dodge Caliber rental car to his brother's house in Selma, about about 30 miles away from the crime scene, where he was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His brother was not present in the home at that time of Pardo's death. It was initially believed that Pardo intended to flee to Canada by plane since he had bought an airline ticket to fly Air Canada. But, however, it was subsequently discovered that the flight itinerary on Northwest Airlines was from Los Angeles to Moline, Illinois, with a layover in Minnesota. Pardo had called days before to tell a high school friend that he planned to visit, but investigators were unsure if he actually intended to visit or if the flight was to fool investigators. He had visited the friend before in October 2000 of the same year. Other reports stated that the center suit had melted during the flamethrower portion of the attack and had adhered to his skin, so not all of it can be removed. However, suffering from severe third-degree burns on his arms stemming from the blaze, Pardo decided to go against the initial plan. Police found $17,000 in cash cling wrapped on his legs. Inside a girdle, his rental car parked 1 block from his brother's house had remnants of his center suit. Also recovered from the scene were 4 13-round capacity handguns that were empty and at least 200 rounds of ammunition, suggesting that what had been inside the car had been treated as a threat. A bomb squad, while attempting to remove a portion of the center suit with a robot, accidentally started a fire in the vehicle and burning and destroying it. What in the world is going on? At Pardo's house in Montrose, police had recovered 5 empty boxes of semi-automatic handguns, a Benelli M2 tactical shotgun, and a container of high-octane fuel tank gasoline. They also found what was described as a virtual bomb factory in his home. This case is just getting complicated. So, how do I say this? Nobody really knows what actually happened in the house and whether him and his how do I say this? Whether Bruce and his ex-wife has a hostile marriage, because they never really gone into detail. And what it never said is whether his intention all this while was to just kill his ex-wife and his kids, or whether he intended to shoot everyone, if you know what I mean.